singer. I'm a singer. I mean, Division 1.1 is actually in the truck driver's manual for carrying high explosives. And so
It's a hazmat classification.
it's a hazmat classification. It's one of them little,
It's the placard on
oh,
that.
not one of those, but
It's the placard on a tanker truck.
we do consider ourselves a very in-your-face and explosive band, and we hit you with one punch after another, after another, after another, until there is basically nothing left of you. And that's how we will always be. And we want to send a message to people, our fans, because we want to keep them coming back for many, many years to come, that we're going to give you one hell of a show that you'll never forget. And you'll want to keep reliving every chance that you get.
And let other bands that are out there know that we're here.
So does that mean that we're not gonna have any power ballads? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
So, John, you know what? How you warm up is how you warm up.
I don't get it.
It depends on the lighting in the room. And the mood.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was the last guy to join, and originally I thought the material, I didn't think I was particularly the right guy, because my background is in prog. I mean, I've made records with a band called Alchemy X from 1996 to like 2010, with some degree of success, mostly in Europe. Very much a Dream Theater type of thing. And I didn't know that I was the right guy for these guys. I heard this stuff, and I heard a lot of talent, and I heard a lot of precision, and a very powerful band. But I heard places for nuance. I heard places where I could hear strings or keys and harmonies, and luckily I'm able to sing a lot of the high harmonies. And I thought, well, I think these guys can be more than this. But you know, you don't want to walk into a situation where someone's kind enough to ask you to join because they like what you do and say, well, you know, this is great, but I want to change everything. So I needed to gauge that they were all open-minded and could see the same things that I had seen, and they were. So I guess I was a catalyst and bringing things to the group, but I was only a catalyst because all the writing that's taken place subsequently was all in these guys anyway. It was just, you know, maybe I gave them the impetus to start thinking about, oh yeah, you know, we can go in this direction.
Myself, come from a small town. Music was an escape. Started playing a long time ago. Jazz, went into Southern rock. Always loved rock and roll. And once I heard Black Sabbath, it was all over with. I was metal from that day on. I still continue to listen to other genres and learn. Jazz, I try to stay current with everything that's out there and still pull out, you know, as influences, you know. And I did my cover band thing for a long time, you know, lived in the black van for a while, did the original band, had local fame. Took a break for a while, had some kids, and they got old enough for me to start getting the itch to play again. So I jumped back into drumming, went into a drum competition. I did pretty good. And then a friend of mine called me and said, hey, I was in this original project. I can't do it no more. It's not working for me for medical reasons. Why don't you give him a call? That was about 3 years ago, and I believe it was, I met you guys in the room right next door from where we're filming right now.
Yes.
And they like me, and they keep asking me to come back.
Basically, I mean, I've always had an itch since I was, God, probably before I was even a teenager. I just found myself jumping around in front of mirrors, listening to Kiss, listening to Led Zeppelin, listening to Deep Purple. It eventually evolved into me finding Ronnie James Dio, and then it evolved into Iron Maiden and Slayer.
Yeah.
And then
Keep going.
Anthrax.
Keep going. More metal, more.
You know, then you got into the '90s where Pantera was very big, and they just made such a mark on in my soul. Pantera, Dio, Kiss. I've always been a fan of Paul Stanley's voice. I was actually in the high school marching band as a drummer.
Excellent.
And so after high school, you know, basically I was on a kit in the back of the stage, and I don't know, my mother was 3 auditions into the original set of the Mouseketeers, She'd come down with laryngitis and she could not complete. And the story has it that Annette Funicello came in and took her spot, who is since deceased, God rest her soul. Annette Funicello, not my mother, she is still with us. And I think there was something in there from when I was a kid, jumping around in front of mirrors, you know, singing into like a broomstick handle, that I had to just get to the front of the stage. And I went there.
And he was too shy to be an exotic dancer. So.
Just couldn't get my balls in that sling, man. It really-
Now he jumps in front of mirrors trying to kill someone, training to kill someone.
So, but the initial switch was, I was in a project very early on, and basically I was told that I wasn't good enough. And from that point on, I never looked back. And
Now you gotta prove it.
I won't stop until my dying day. I guess it kind of steered me in a way to write the way that I write. And so here we are now.
I never had any great aspirations, I guess, of being a rock star when I was young. I basically I enjoyed music. I like playing it. I actually started as a drummer. I remember I was probably in like 4th grade or 5th grade. I did a talent show where I played Band on the Run. I attribute my musical taste, I guess, to my father. My father actually had a pretty wide scope of music he liked to listen to. And that was one of my father's favorite things, to go downstairs. He'd had this huge stereo system. He used to go down there for hours. I used to go down and hang out with him. So, I mean, we'd listen to, anything from like classical to the 50s, some jazz. And then we started listening to actually a lot of heavier stuff. I mean, my father was into Sabbath and, of course, Led Zeppelin. That was all the bands to listen to back in those days. So, for me, that kind of helped me as far as expanding my horizons on that kind of music. Ultimately, when I ended up playing guitar, anything that was guitar-driven, music that was guitar-driven, I just kind of, I gravitated towards. I never actually really considered myself a lead guitarist, so to speak, but that actually kind of just transformed me, I guess, when I hit this project.
Yeah.
I was in a couple other projects before where, I might have played lead, but it was more garage band stuff, playing in the basement with my friends, my cousins, and, it was just more for fun. And I'm still having fun, that's the whole thing. As long as I'm having fun, I'm having a good time. So, and then after meeting these guys and actually, getting as far as where we're at, I'm actually pretty proud and happy for the stuff that we've done this far, and I look forward to moving on and seeing where this milestone is going to take us.